Anyways, yeah, got you off guard. Gotta be prepared. That's what it is. Anywho, so I don't know what I'm doing. I never know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing right now is I'm waiting for my fish sticks to be done. So I decided to make a video. Kill two birds with two stones, or three, or four, depending on how bad you aim and throw. Anywho, so I decided that I wanted to make a quick video, not a quick video, I don't know. Basically talking about what to expect when you get a rabbit, because rabbits, they're amazing pets, absolutely great pets, and it's just, I wanted to cover just things you should know before you get them. This is not a care video, this is not a care guide, okay, but I'm just coming from experience. I've owned rabbits for over a year now, and so I like to think I have some experience with it, but so I'm just gonna talk about that because it's they're, as I said, they're great pets. And so let's just start off. One thing that you should do with any animal is do very intensive research on it, know what to expect, know what their care is and everything before you get them, and try to, in regards to, so you should know what care requirements are, and you shouldn't ask for any form of help at, like, say, the pet store or something. You should, like, you have the internet and YouTube for resources, so I mean that's where you should start with, and give yourself at least probably, I'd say, like anywhere between a week to maybe a couple weeks or a month to sit down on the idea of getting a rabbit or any pet, because it can be very it's very easy to go through like impulse buying things, and then you realize like a week or two in or a month or two in, you're just like, I can't do this, whether I mean financially or just you're not prepared. And that's one thing you need to know, is you got to be prepared with what you're getting yourself into, especially with rabbits, because they're very high maintenance, animals. And so that's the first thing. They're very high maintenance animals. I don't know how long this is going to be, but so I might cover it in the description if you don't want to watch this entire video. I mean, you definitely should, though, because my charisma is pretty up there. Just saying, so stick around. Why don't you? You don't have to. Anyways, yeah, they're very high maintenance animals, and one of the things you need to know is that rabbits, a healthy rabbit will live anywhere between 8 to 10 years, sometimes even 12, so just as much as like a cat or a dog, so they're definitely a long-term commitment in that regard. So if you're like me, right, and you just got a not even under a year old rabbit, Cashew is 6 or 7 months, I think, now, maybe 8, I'm not sure, but I have to get him fixed, which is another thing I'll cover. But yeah, so I mean, I'm 23, so like I'm looking into like my early 30s I'll have them for. And that's one of the things you need to realize, is that you're going to have them. And so when you get an animal like that, you shouldn't go with the intention of rehoming them at some point, because one of the big things is that these rabbits, they'll bond with you, they'll bond. And that's one thing that my rabbits have or my rabbits, like that they have on top of, say, like reptiles. Most reptiles is that most reptiles they won't bond with you. They'll tolerate you, right? It's basically what you build with yourself through them, right? And how like important they are to you is what makes a reptile, and basically any animal in general, right? I'm getting off topic, but yeah. So I mean, it's just kind of like you gotta see it as in what would it be, if you were in their shoes or their paws per se, and you had them for like 4 to 5 years already, and then say something came down the line where you had a kid, or you had a life event happening, right? Just like kind of put yourself in their place in regards of like rehoming them. That's my fish sticks. I'll be right back, okay? Just you stay there, alrighty? It'll only be a couple seconds. Yeah, no, fish sticks are pretty good though. I'll tell you that much. Oh shoot, that's hot. That's so, you know what it is. You know what it is. No, but, anywho, 1 second. Okay, so now we're back. We are back, alrighty. And I'm set to go with a Dr. Thunder, Diet Dr. Thunder. But yeah, going back, so like put yourself in their shoes or your paws again. It's pretty much it's a long-term commitment, 10 years, 8 to 10 years you're going to have them for. So it's kind of like you shouldn't be on the thing of like, oh, at some point I'm probably going to rehome them. They're not, pets shouldn't be temporary animals. I mean, they're temporary in the essence of their lifespan and stuff, because not, majority of pets won't be with you for for your entire life, because they, unless we're talking like parrots or tortoises. But again, we're getting off topic. But yeah, so definitely take that into consideration when you get one. Another thing is like definitely look into like rabbit shelters and stuff before you go to a breeder. I ended up going to a breeder because the closest rabbit shelter was like 4 hours away, 4 or 5 hours away, and I just didn't want to put the rabbit through that stress, because Boulder, the one I got before, the one I had before Cashew, I got him about like a 2.5 hour drive away, and the entire ride home he was just very stressed out, and I can surely understand it being stressed out, But that's one thing that you need to know is you're gonna have them for a while, so I mean, don't have it in the mind of like rehoming them. I mean, life stuff does come up though, so I mean, but it shouldn't be like something you should think of like, oh, I'm only gonna have them for like 5 years or 4 years and then I'm gonna rehome them, because the rabbits, they build a bond with you. So I mean, it's kind of like you get losing that trust, and they experience emotions too. They get depressed and stuff, and that's one of the other things I'm going to go into now, is that if you're going to have your rabbit in a cage, so this is cage that I have. The cashew in, it's a deluxe XL habitat, and so he's in that. But one of the things is that they can get depressed if they don't get any activity. So one of the things you need to also understand is that daily that you should be looking at giving them anywhere between an hour to like several hours of free roam time a day. I try to get at least 2 hours for cashew a day, but sometimes things get in the way. But I always make sure that if I'm not able to get them out one day, I make the effort to get them out for not only the time that you missed that day, but the going ahead too. So yeah, look at least for like 2 to 4 hours. Just, and the thing is, like, you don't have to, like, they can do their own thing, right? Rabbits aren't necessarily very affectionate animals, in the sense that I'm pretty sure I said some rabbits or most rabbits. Yeah, because just so don't expect a rabbit to say give you like all this like affection and stuff and whatnot, because again, it goes with the personality of a rabbit too. Some of them are just naturally flighty in that sense, or they just are more independent in the sense that they would much rather sniff around and cause mayhem than be pet or something. So that's another thing. Like, if you're expecting your rabbit to like you to have cuddle sessions with your rabbit, it's most likely not going to happen. Again, most likely. I mean, there is the outlier. I'm not saying all, but I mean, it's all about like how much you work with them too. But even then, I mean, it's just based on their personality. Cashew, when he wants attention, he'll just come up and look for it. So I mean, it's kind of got to see it in that regard too. It's just another thing. Let's get into the So with that free roaming, you got to make sure that you have like a rabbit-free setup going. So what I have, again, I'll show you, is this entire thing I have. So right there is like my router for internet and stuff, and then like all the wires and stuff right down there. That's what I use. Those are very crucial to me. And rabbits are, you got to make your house or your room rabbit proof. Otherwise, they'll chew on some things. And again, that's what they do. That's what they do. They're grazers. Their teeth are constantly growing. So they're always needing to like chew on something, and whether that mean like you give them cardboard to chew on, or you give them like a pine cone or something. Just they need to constantly be chewing or eating. And just to let you guys know that bowl there, my French lap, I had a $60 gaming headset. I don't really game anymore, but I had a $60 gaming headset. And it only took, and it was a wired gaming headset. It was like $60 or something. And he, within the span of 2 seconds, the cord completely, he tore right through the cord with his teeth. So it was I was mad, but again, it's what you get with having a rabbit, is that they will chew on stuff, whether it mean like stuff in the house. So you just got to keep them constantly like enriched. So have them with free roam, give them toys and stuff, and everything else. Jupiter is going nuts. Another thing is going back with the neutering. That's a big thing too. If you want your rabbit to live a long and happy life, which you definitely should, you should definitely get them neutered or spayed, depending on the sex of the rabbit, right? So Cashew is a boy, so I'll be looking at getting him neutered come November, or whenever he turns about 8 months or so, 8 months old. So yeah, so November, December, and whatnot. And so you got to look into doing that and neutering, and depending, again, it depends on like your location and stuff, but like neutering is cheaper than spaying, because it's a more straightforward procedure, or it's a much easier procedure to do. Again, I'm not a vet, so I don't know. It's much easier to perform a neuter than it is to spay. So, for example, for neutering, I paid for Boulder. I paid about $250, I think, dollars to get him neutered and for the overnight stay. So, yeah, again, you gotta take that into consideration too, because otherwise they are very prone to getting cancers and diseases and stuff that will negatively affect them. And that's something you don't want, because again, they're long-term animals. You're going to have them for about 8 to 10 years, even 12. So definitely look into that too. Get them neutered, get them fixed. And then one of the other things is that, again, with like the cleaning and stuff, you pretty much, so I clean my bin or the litter box about anywhere between 5 to 6 days. So it's very, so you'll go through a lot of hay, a lot of pellets, a lot of and you gotta get like the bedding and stuff too. So I mean, it definitely adds up and stuff. So that's another thing you got to take into consideration as well. Is you got to have like the money for hay, and Oxbow is the way to go for hay. You can get it on Chewy. That's where I get a lot of my pet stuff. It's from Chewy. You can get like 9 pound for like $20 or something, and that lasts for about, I would say maybe like 2 weeks or so, because they eat a lot. They eat a lot. So every 2 weeks I'm getting, hay. Like once a month is probably pellets and bedding. And got like paper bedding over here. And I'll show you paper bedding, because they. So I mean, I'm not gonna make this video any longer, but so just that's what you need to know when you get a rabbit. Is it's very it's more than you think, I guess, for a new keeper. So what I would say is, don't stress over it. Okay, don't stress over it. Getting an animal or a pet, right? Because a lot of the learning will come with when you get the animal and stuff, but just have like a general idea of what's going to happen when you get it. That's all that I really, can say. With any animal, it's just the experience of having it and being it firsthand, because that kind of trumps over, research and stuff. Is actually having the research kind of goes nice on. It's like the cherry on top, having the research and then having the experience too. So yeah. Anyways, I hope that this was somewhat helpful for you guys. I know it was kind of 20 minutes or so. I'm sorry. It's just my charisma. I don't know. I can't help it. I talk to myself in the mirror constantly. Okay? So I just can't help it. So, yeah. Anyhow, I'm about to enjoy this nice Diet Dr. Thunder because I'm a man of class, okay? And have some fish sticks as well. Oh boy, how about that? Anywho, I hope you all have a great Friday, fantastic weekend, and so yeah. Other than that, I might make a video. Again, I might make a video this weekend. I don't know what it would be of. Again, I would like to dive into like some philosophical stuff at some point, but I just need to have the motivation to sit through like a 30 minute just ramble on about life and existence and planes and all that good stuff. Anywho, I'll stop talking. Okay, you enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, take care.